Call to the booth. We back with my dog, man, my draft mate, Chris Long. You know, y'all know Chris Long, man, Super Bowl champion, famous dad. That's what I out of everything you did, Chris, I still be like, damn.
I was born.
Hey, damn. Howie Long is daddy. Look, I still be like, Howie Long is fucking daddy, bro. Shit, that shit crazy. That's the craziest part of your whole life to me.
I know. Well, it is crazy because you look around the league, and I always say this is like, how many second generations? There's not a lot of second generations.
Exactly.
It's something we're definitely proud of to have played, both of us and my brother as well. So, you just don't see a lot of it. I mean, like Joey and Nick being brothers and making it to league and being how they are, like,
right.
You just
the Matthews, you got the Matthews, man. You got the boys from
Watts.
Buffalo.
The Kelseys.
The Kelseys. There's some guys out there. It's definitely some generational guys. The McCourties, you know what I'm saying? They on the same fucking team doing
well, they're the same guy. They're the same person.
They like the same person and shit.
And they play that shit up. Like, I'm over it now, Dev. You're a twin. You and Jason are twins. We get it. Like, bro, like, I don't need to see like everything. The podcast is themed twins. Like, separate. Do something.
Right.
You got to be on the same team.
Share social medias and shit.
That's the lamest shit, dude. I tell them all the time. Though. I love Dev. I love Dev,
but look, I know we're supposed to start some else, Harrison, but fuck that. How was that upbringing, man?
Yeah.
How was that upbringing? Cause I'm gonna tell you right now, I got me and my brother.
Yeah.
He got 3 boys, I got 2 boys, right?
Yeah.
And they the truth. Like one of them is a freshman. My brother oldest son, he a freshman. He wears size 15 shoe. His hands bigger than mine. He 14, finna be 15 years old, bro. So I'm like, he 5'11", 200 pounds right now.
Yeah.
No fat on him. So I'm like, bro, we got a serious chance to, you know what I'm saying? We want to be
like the Longs. Chance.
We want to be like the Longs, the Matthews, the McCourties. We trying to send these boys, right? So how was your upbringing, man? We trying to make sure we doing the right shit.
Man, listen, one thing that my dad did, and I think it was because he played, old CBA football in the 80s, surgeries, the lying, not that any of that shit's changed. They just have more practice and they worked harder than us because they had 2-a-days all year long and all that stuff. It was really rough back then. And so he played 13 years in a really rough system. We didn't really play the same position. Like I was an edge rusher and he played all up and down the line in a 3-4. So, there's like a big difference, like my dad played schematically. When somebody asked me about my dad, who they would compare him to, everybody likes to do JJ Watt. They're not the same guy. Like they're different. Right. I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I'm just saying like they're different. My dad would get down to 3 and play vertical. Like my dad's better comparison, honestly, was Aaron Donald. Now, Aaron Donald's going to be the best of all time at what he does, in my opinion.
Right.
But same type of player, undersized, quick, shoot the gaps. Like that was my dad. So my dad just like didn't really want me to play football. Like he didn't not want me to play football, but he was just not going to like nudge me to play football. His thing was always, whatever you do, do it 100 miles an hour. So work ethic was the non-negotiable in my household. And it was like old school dad, the whole 9 yards. But there was a time when I was 13 and I was getting ready to go, or 10 or 12 or whatever it was, the first time I was going out to football practice. And my parents didn't want me to play really because of the whole thing I just told you about.
Right.
And my mom and my dad told me a story about when they were sitting up in the room the night before and they go, what do we do? Do we tell him he can't go? They were like, no, don't tell him he can't go. Because if you tell a kid he can't do something, that's all he's going to want to do. What we're going to do, because we think our kid's soft, is we're going to send him out to practice and he's going to get his nose bloody. He's never going to want to come back to practice.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that I wasn't very good, but I love that shit. And, and the bug never went away. But it wasn't something I dreamed about playing the NFL always. Like I wanted to do it to the best of my ability, but I kept my focus right in front of me. I never had like that big dream. I had small dreams, like a series of small dreams. And I think that was just the way my dad kind of instilled in us, was hard work, one thing at a time. And it worked out, but there's a lot of pressure too. Like by the time I got to league, the pressure of being a top 5 pick was like, yeah, it was heavy, but it wasn't like going to your high school game and everybody looking at you and chanting your dad's name and shit. Like I've been through it. Like any accomplishment you achieve, it's not you, it was your dad. It's not you. Hey, listen,
he a part of it. He definitely a part of it.
Right. Like, so I get a scholarship. It's not you, it's your dad. I go 14 sacks in the ACC my senior year. It's not you or your dad. You get drafted high. It's not you or your dad. I get broke off going 13 sacks, in a year, 40 in 4 years. Not you, it's your dad. So fuck, like it just gives you thick skin, bro. Like I've heard it all.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Cause like I say, my nephews and my son's 7, but you asking right now, Fat, what you doing when you get old? He like, going to the NFL, bro. Like, why you asking me that?
He's got better.
He there already. You feel me?
Yeah,
He like mentally, he there already. You know what I'm saying? So, I do the same thing. I tell him, look, if that's what you wanna work for free for 15 years and then get paid, that's what you want to do. That's what the NFL is.
Yep.
You're gonna feel like you got a job for 15 years and then you're gonna finally get paid for it. That's what you want. He like, yep. All right, bet. Let's get to it. I'm different than Howie Long. Fuck my kids not playing. I'm like, listen. Shoot your gun at this shit. Y'all gotta shoot your gun at this shit because this shit is they fucking giving out money to play football. All right, Harrison, what's up, man? Let's talk some real NFL.
We'll talk a brief NFL for a minute. Real quick, and I think you alluded to this. You guys were talking about the heavy is the head that wears the crown. What is your perspective on the situation with Carson Wentz? If you can get to that real quick before we go
absolutely
to the games.
I think it's going to be real hard to rectify the situation in Philly. I think, anybody who knows ball has seen him at this level, right? 2017, I've always said this, we win the Super Bowl with Nick, without Nick, with Carson. It's almost unfair to those quarterbacks. Our team was just so special from a chemistry, leadership, dog. Like, we were all dogs, bro, and we were hungry. And, when you're on a Super Bowl team, you can just feel it. That was the type of team we had. Now, Carson was great that year. The problem was Carson tears his ACL. Mark Barron caught him going to the end zone in LA. And next thing you know, he's chasing the injury bug. I mean, he's got the back from rehab and that sort of thing. So he just wasn't very good in 18. 19, the team was terrible. Like, the guys he was throwing to shadow program picture guys, like dudes without the pictures on Madden. That's who he's throwing it to. No disrespect to those guys because they get paid too. But 19, I thought he exceeded expectations considering everything. 20, he is not. He has been bad, objectively, very bad, 2020. Now, here's what I think. The Eagles have failed him on a level, but Carson, at the end of the day, when people are open, has to hit those people, and he has to eliminate the turnovers. Those two things can be true at the same time. Now, by the time you make the quarterback change, you go to Jalen Hurts, who showed some promise, but also in second half of games has been adjusted to and that sort of thing. You've kind of made your decision now. It's going to be hard in that city. It's going to be hard with the head coach coming back for a lot of reasons, because of the promise Jalen showed, because of the way the city's so divided on Carson, and because Carson's probably like, and some people might disagree with me, and a lot of talking heads are like, he's being a little bitch about it, but they don't remember that they took shit personal too. And so Carson took it personal. Carson might not want to play for him anymore. But the problem is his contract's so fucked up that you're going to have a hard time moving. It's not because Indy or San Francisco can't absorb his contract. It's because of the dead cap money that Eagles are going to have to eat. And so for a number of reasons, they're between a rock and a hard place, right? So I think what's going to be interesting is what they do at that position. If it's me, what I wish would happen is I wish they'd give Carson a fresh start somewhere else. Because I think he's still got something in him where he may not be the 17 guy every year, but quarterbacks don't grow on trees. And guys who have shown that, Frank Reich was a big part of his success. Maybe you reunite him with him, but the Philly experiment, unfortunately, has just kind of run its course. And now you really got to hope Jalen Hurts can ball, right? If you're Philly, because you've made your decision in a sense.
Yeah, I think it's about done, man. I feel like I've been in that position, man, with like just Denver. One of our leaders, you know what I'm saying, one of our best players, our Pro Bowler, our All Pro, one of our media guys. If somebody's speaking on behalf of the team, it's gonna be me. But at one point, shit, it was just like, man, I just gotta go, bro. It's burnt out. I done charged him up. I done argued with him. I done argued with him. I done argued with him. It's just like, man, they ain't even the same here no more. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can't rewind that stuff, man. So
it's another thing that's funny though, because Denver wasn't like as dysfunctional, and like you still went on to be great, like where you continue to play because of your football mind into your late stage of your career, because you always had the mind, even when the body's like going a little bit. Like Carson's coming back from, in my opinion, injuries and an organizational failure and his own mistakes, right? So I've been there with the injuries, like in St. Louis, I'm a captain. I'm one of the best DNs in the league. Like my numbers, I put them up against anybody for a 4 or 5 year period.
Hell yeah.
But then I get hurt for 2 years, and it's like that's how quick. Like, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah,
shit changes,
just changed.
Bro. I was cut within 2 years, so I actually texted Carson this like this year, and like yes, my job of talking to media is tough. You and me have talked about this. How hard it is to criticize your friends. Carson's played bad. Do I dislike Carson? No, I really like Carson. I think Carson's a good dude. I think he gets a bad rap from like a personal standpoint because a couple weak, like unnamed sources a couple years ago who were mad about whatever went and bitched about Carson. Most people tell you he might not be Tom Brady with the fieriness, but Carson's a good dude. I texted him earlier this year. I said, I'm sorry the year's not going well, man. Like, just keep walking, man. All you can do is keep walking as a player when you're going through that rough period. Because if I had given up in St. Louis, because I really thought about saying fuck it and like retiring the second time I got IR'd, I never win a Super Bowl. You never know how close you are to getting back up off the mat and having the success you have. So I would hope that Carson is mentally strong enough to weather this storm and come out the other side. Because I really think, he can get back to playing respectable quarterback.
Hell yeah, I do too. Like you said, 17, he was one of my favorite guys, man. I thought he was definitely next. I'm like, man, I was at the point, I'm like, Carson next. He the next
Me too,
guy in our league. So then them injuries came, like you said, man. So,
when LeBron's saying you're his favorite player, like that's a fucking good sign, right?
That's huge.
And he had that in 17. Like LeBron's talking about. So it's not like this guy has been a bum his entire career. He's had a really bad year. He had a good year last year considering, and he's been hurt. So I'm rooting for him.
Happy New Year from our sponsor over at Manscape, man. That's the best below the waist men's grooming in the world. So look, you want to bring in your new year with the right tools to get the job done, man.
And the one thing that we do, Aqib, around here with our sponsors, we like to try them out. So I know you got the Manscape entire package. I ain't want to ask you about your private parts, but I'm assuming it's done you well.
This business though, Harrison. So it's a little bit different, but I got my pack. From Manscaped. I usually, I have my own routine for my grooming. It sucked, but now I got, a real edger. Basically, it's like a haircut. Same thing you use to cut your hair. You can use it in the shower. So now it's sit in the shower. I might charge it up, put it back in the shower. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, hard to reach areas. I even had wifey come help me, baby. Give me right here. You feel me? Wifey can help me on the hard to reach area. It's the best shit that happened to my household in a long time, Harrison. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love it. Wifey love it, man. Manscaped, man. We love the pack, baby.
I think you're referring to the lawnmower 3.0. It's on point for sure. I've used it. I don't have a wifey over here, but I use it myself. I think I do a good job. Maybe I'll get to that level. The ball toner as well, a very good thing to have as well. And there's even the ball deodorant as well.
Got the DO too.
Because I've seen how it gets in the gym sometimes. Your A1 plus D1 gym, especially
get smoky over here sometimes.
yeah. I did see a video clip of maybe you getting smoked by one of your guys you were training. I did see that.
I won't call it
smoke. I won't call smoke.
I won't call it smoke, but you know what I'm saying? But he did have a nice release off the line, man. You know what I'm saying? And he a young man, finna go to college and stuff like that. So look, I'm gonna encourage when I send all my young boys packages, I'm sending the Manscaped packages. I just sent my nephew back with half of my pack just so he can have some deodorant. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't give him my mower. I told him I order him his own mower. But I'm telling you, man, all in all, if you keep your stuff groomed, you probably need the deodorant less. You know what I'm saying? It be the stanky hairs that will got you stanky down there. You remove them stanky hairs, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So a great package, man. The toner, deodorant, man, the mower, and they even give you a nose trimmer. They even give you a nose trimmer, man, for the guys who got hairs hanging out their noses, man. Hey, Manscaped, I love it, Harrison.
So you guys heard the man. Go ahead and get your package now. Head on to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code NoFlyZone. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Just use our code NoFlyZone.
2021 is a new year, new balls.
Chris, you alluded to the fact that you were rooting for Alex Smith. While we have you here, before we get out of here, let's go through the Saturday playoff games. And Aqib, if you could just respond. So I'm gonna set the line too. Bucs are 7.5-point favorites at Washington football team. Over under at 46.5. What you think?
I actually like the Washington football team to cover if you can get that half. If it gets down to like 6.5, I'm not sure. I think this is one of the things where Tom's watching, and I thought this was so interesting. Imagine Tom Brady's family rooting for the Eagles, right? Well, I think that's what was happening Sunday night, because he doesn't want to get hit by those guys in Washington. Tom's a different guy when he gets hit, just like any quarterback. So I think they win, but I think it's a bit of a dogfight.
Definitely. I agree. If you're going to tame Tom anyway, it got to be the D-line who going to tame him. They got to get on his ass.
Yeah.
I seen y'all do it, you know what I'm saying, and win a chip. I seen us do it, put them out the playoffs, and the games that you see Tom rattled a little bit is definitely because the D-line, not blitzing really, it's a couple blitzes, but it got to be a 4-man rush, because he'll tear your ass up if you don't got a 4-man rush. He's just too smart against man coverage. He's too smart against zone coverage. And shit like that.
He is too smart, and it's amazing. Some people don't think about it. Like in our Super Bowl, we just rushed 4 the whole time, and at certain parts they were picking us apart. But what they had to do the entire game was protect with 7 and chip out. So that changes the way they do things. And then at the end of the game, when they had to protect, they couldn't do it. So yeah, that's the way.
It's got to be them 4. So like you said, I agree. I think it'll be a dogfight. I think it'll be a little bit closer than everybody think it is. But I definitely like Tom. I think Tom them gonna cover though. I think they'll cover 7.5. They'll win by like 10. It'll be a 31-21, where it was 31-20, whatever. 26. What's the math? 25 or 24. Yeah. 21-24 for a minute, and then the Bucs scored that late touchdown, and then late cover. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at something like that.
I like the over too, though.
Definitely like the over.
One of the most unfortunate things that we're seeing with this whole season, that we're going to see it this weekend, players not being able to play, potentially because of COVID, or coaches not being able to coach, like Kevin Stefanski for the Cleveland Browns. But I do want to talk about a player that might not be able to play, but this because of injury. Jared Goff and the LA Rams are plus 4.5 at the Seattle Seahawks.
Give me the Hawks.
Over under at 43. Obviously, we don't know what's happening with Goff.
Give me the Hawks.
Give me the Hawks and the under. Okay. Yeah. Listen. And I got some buddies on the Rams. You know, I know Aqib loves that secondary a lot. I see him a lot on his no-fly zone rankings, and they should be, man. They are just ballers. But it's a defense that's kind of wasted right now, right? And I don't know what happens with Jared Goff and his thumb. At least the Wolford kid gives him something on the ground. But Seattle, quiet as kept, has kind of turned into a defensive football team here towards the end of the year. So I think this is going to be a low-scoring ball game. Give me the Seahawks covering. Maybe maybe 21-14 or something like that. I mean,
I don't like Wall Street Wolf. I don't like the Wall Street Wolf scoring that many points, man. Like you said, I like them to get 2 touchdowns, maybe a field goal. 17. Get a Rams about 17, man. And I don't know. I like Seattle to come out and play some ball, man. They're gonna come out and play some ball. They're gonna cover. It's just hard. It's a quarterback-driven league. That shit ain't changed. It's hard to win without your ace.
It is.
It's hard to win without your ace. The vibe is different when your ace not there. I don't give a fuck who the backup is. Our ace not there. The defense thinking right now, man, we got to win this shit on D.
Defense plays better. The defense plays better when they know it's a Wolford. That's the thing about like the Steelers defense last year. They were so constricting because they were like, we got to clean up for this shit on offense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like teams that all of a sudden have the comfort of complimentary football chill out a little bit.
Yeah, they do. So I'm taking the Hawks too. Give me the Hawks and the under as well, man.
Cool.
Big game in Buffalo where they'll actually be allowing fans. Josh Allen, who Aqib does not agree with my MVP pick for this year.
Strong second. He a strong second.
He is a strong second.
Colts plus 7. Oh, Colts are plus 7 at the Bills, over under at 52. What you got?
So I like the over, and I think the Colts run the football and keep it relatively close, but give me the Bills by about 4, so the Colts cover. That's the big key. If they can get Jonathan Taylor going, they can kind of stay in this football game. I don't think playing keep away works on Kansas City. I actually think with Kansas City, you just got to score with those motherfuckers. with the Bills, I think you can control the clock a little bit. And the Bills are playing the best football in the league right now, 10 in a row without the Hail Mary. But the Colts are quietly a really formidable team.
Yeah, Colts got a pretty good defense, man. They don't get talked about a lot, but they solid. I was watching all this defense this year. Colts was one of my favorites, man. They always played great early. They gave up a lot of points late. So I'll take the Bills. Man. I'm going to take the Bills in the over. I think both teams could score some points.
Whatever you do, take the over.
Definitely got to take the over, and I'll take the Bills. And I like the Bills to cover, man. I like the Bills to cover in the over.
Perfect.
And lastly, before you guys go, you've never had a situation before where you've lost a head coach to COVID in a playoff game. Have you guys even played a game without your actual head coach performing in his normal duties before? How was that experience? And what do you think the Browns are going to be going through on game day?
Well, Cool got sick one time. I think Cool during the season. I think after we won the chip, the next season, Cool got sick. He had the little heart attack or whatever. Man, remember he was gone for a hot minute. So I think it kind of rallied us, but at the same time, we didn't win. We wasn't a very good team without him. You know what I'm saying? So we try to rally ourselves, but they pay somebody to rally these troops. If that guy not there, then man, the person who paid to do the job ain't there. You feel me? So it ain't rally us. I think we lost. I don't know what our record was, but I know the year after we won the Super Bowl, we wasn't a very good football team, man. So it ain't worked for us.
I wonder how much that moves the line, because it scares me a little bit, because Kevin Stefanski to me is right there with B Flow for Coach of the Year. I got to give it to my guy, B Flow. But Kevin's and continuing to do the right things in Miami by firing Chan Gailey. It's not really a fire with a capital F. It's just more like, hey, this isn't going to work for Tua. We really appreciate you. Like if it was a Fitzy team, you're here. That's why you're here. But Kevin Stefanski, what he's been able to bring to not just the team, but to Baker, I mean, just with the way he's kind of unlocked the key with that group, scares me, him being off the field. It really does. Man. And I got the Steelers before the season, so I'm not going to jump off the bandwagon, because if I do this, then I don't get to claim victory if they win. I had the Steelers beating the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So listen, I'm pulling for it's hard, because I'd love to see the Browns win, but I'd like to be right. I think I am going to be right, because the Steelers, they kicked the shit out of them early in the year, and then they hung with them Sunday. It was almost like, hey, just so you know, we see you in a week. Right? We see you in a week with TJ Watt and Big Ben and these guys we sat. So I think the Steelers win.
Same. I say the same, man. It's hard to go to war without your leader, man. Stefanski, that's their leader. They're going to be at war without him. I think they're going to rally. They're going to play good. But, man, all in all, Mike Tomlin, Big Ben, it's going to be too much. I like Pittsburgh to win.
Yes, and I think this is the end of the show as well. That's your Saturday previews. We're going to come back with Sunday previews in our show for Thursday. Aqib, I guess you want to say goodbye to not just Chris, but all of our audience.
Chris, you already know I appreciate it, my boy.
Yeah, likewise,
I love the pod. Love what you got going on, man. Anytime you need leave on there, hit me, baby. I love to talk.
Thanks. Hey, you and me too. We've been doing it we've been doing it in locker rooms for years. So now we get to do it for fucking living. So
we get to do it for a DraftKings bag, baby. You know what I'm saying? Manscape, all of the above. So, hey, I appreciate it, man.
Good seeing you,
do
bro.
Your thing, man. Take care.
Good seeing you, man. Stay safe. Love hearing you on Sundays, buddy.
You already know. Appreciate it, brother. Take
care.
Man.